Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Commonwealth. Today we're going to be checking out Rotten Landfill. This is a pretty minor, small location, but either way, I actually found it to be pretty cool. There's a really kind of interesting scripted encounter here, and also we're going to do some glitches and explore the highway and some of the surrounding areas. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and check out Rotten Landfill. Now, Rotten Landfill is located just east of Starlight Drive-In, just southeast of Belford Station. Here you can see it on the world map. Now, if you approach from the west, like I did from Starlight Drive-In, you actually find an abandoned shack right before you actually get to the actual location. And this shack has a lot of like radiation near it, so do be a bit careful. We can find a monkey on a bed, and be careful because this rad scorpion scared the ever-living shit out of me. He just popped out of the ground inside of somebody's living room, and well, he almost killed me. Not really, but he did prove to be a bit of a difficult fight. I think rad scorpions in Fallout 4 are actually quite annoying just because they have a ton of health. But me and Dogmeat were able to take care of this bad boy. But yeah, there's just a small shack there, but really there isn't a whole lot inside of it. Now, as you make your way down to Rotten Landfill, if you're a higher level, do be careful because there's going to be settlers here. And if you're a higher level, these settlers might be killed by mole rats. But if you are able to protect the settler or settlers from the mole rats, and there are multiple waves of mole rats, so be ready, they'll give you 50 caps. Now, it is random if there's one or two settlers, but for me, there was only one, but I defended him, he survived, and he gave me 50 caps. Now, we can find this kind of main building that was probably like the, just the office building for the landfill. Really nothing in it. There is a medical kit with some random healing items. Now, in the center of the landfill, we can kind of find this mound. We can enter the mound where we will be ambushed by more mole rats. So if you have a fear of mole rats, this is not a good place for you. And in the very back of this mound, we can find a steamer trunk with various decent loot. There are 3 entrances into this mound, and they all kind of come out at different areas. But yeah, it's just a hill of junk. And if you bring your companions here, they will comment on how bad the stench is. It smells terribly, apparently. I mean, it is Rotten Landfill. Now, if we head just to the south of Rotten Landfill, we can find this kind of lake. And you'll notice at the northern end of the lake, as we're approaching here, there is a crashed vertibird. And at this crashed vertibird, we can find a leveled suit of power armor. So that's not half bad. So we're going to make our way down here. I had a little bit of trouble finding the power armor. It is on the west side of the vertibird. Be careful because this lake is highly radioactive. And then there is the power armor. I should have taken the fusion core. I didn't actually want the power armor, but made a mistake, but hey, maybe I'll go back and get it another day. But that's pretty much all that's going on at this location, and this is unexplored, and I noticed next to me there is a very, very tall highway. And I was like, I wonder if I could get up there by using a glitch. So I decided to use the levitation glitch by using a metal bucket. Right, if you use any kind of junk, you can make your character levitate if you hold it underneath you and back into a wall, like so. Now, it did take me a long time to get it just because this wall or pillar for the highway is curved, so it can be a little bit tricky, but eventually I was able to bring myself up to the first level of the highway, and well, there's really nothing of interest down here. There is this kind of like crashed, burned out ambulance, but just some typical Fallout 4 vehicles. I do think it is cool, though, that Bethesda did put vehicles on this highway, something they really didn't have to do because players aren't supposed to be up there, but hey, they did it anyway. Now, if you come up to this pillar further south, we can actually get on top of the very top level where we find this crashed truck, but unfortunately, we cannot enter the truck. There's also this crashed, burnt out bus at the very edge of the highway, but yeah, there's nothing in it. Now, I did try to jump across, and I actually made it to the second level, and I was very shocked to find that there was like a shack and a bed here. So I thought to myself, this must be accessible somehow, some way. So I started making my way down south, which is the only direction I could go, and it went on for a long time. But eventually I did find more signs of like construction, and you could physically get to that little shack. I kept going, and it took me all the way to Lexington. So yes, you can get on this highway in Lexington and go all the way towards the Rotten Landfill where there's a small shack on the highway. I just thought that was really cool, something that I'm sure a lot of people would never ever notice. But yeah, I kind of want to live in that shack now. It feels kind of safe just because it takes forever to get to it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Unexplored Commonwealth. If you have any ideas or recommendations for future videos, future locations, please post them in the comment section below. And as always, until next time.